there's still no vaccine for murder.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Doctor.
Everything prepped?
Yes, doctor. Everything's ready.
You have a good weekend?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Somehow I thought you would. Let's do this.
Vitals are steady, Dr. Constantine.
Oh, yeah.
Geez, this is worse than my kid's sneakers.
All right, let's keep our focus. We've got work to do. Come on.
Dr. Constantine, I think I'm gonna pain.
Can't see.
Professor Ford Curtis was a small college professor with a big-time reputation. He checked into Heartland Hospital for minor surgery, but checked out permanently.
Code red to OR1. Code red to OR1.
Oh man, they're dead. Everybody's dead.
This is what they've done to my father. Body odor kills patient, doctor, and nurse. To them, it's a joke.
Well, it could have been worse. They could have said, man dies from BO. Deodorant didn't help.
Mr. Hammer, my father was a wonderful man, a great thinker. He didn't deserve to die, and he didn't deserve to be treated like this.
Well, I'm sorry about your father, Miss Curtis, but this is a medical issue. Why did you come to me?
The hospital is covering something up. If it wasn't negligence, then in the least it was gross incompetence.
Did you talk to the police?
All I got was blank stares.
What's this?
The coroner's report.
Evidence of drug history?
My father never took a drug in his whole life. For the last 4 years, I was his researcher. I was with him constantly. There is no way that he could take a drug and I wouldn't know about it.
Why would the coroner lie?
That's what I want you to find out.
Miss Curtis, I'm not a medical examiner. Seems to me like you need an expert, someone with a background in chemistry or forensics.
I have a background in chemistry, and I have never heard of anything like this before. Poison vapors escaping from a body? Mr. Hammer, this is Stephen King material.
Haley, Craig Sanderson is here.
Let's go.
I'm almost finished, honey.
5 minutes. I'll be waiting in the lobby.
Who's Prince Charming?
Craig's my fiancé.
Sweet guy.
He's been under a lot of pressure. He's really a great guy.
Yeah, if you say so. Says here your father had an existing heart condition.
That part's true. But then why would they prescribe Pemelin?
What's Pemelin?
It's a stimulant. It can cause a heart attack.
Well, it seems like your father's body isn't the only thing that stinks. All right, Miss Curtis. I'll take the case.
Thanks.
My first stop was Ford Curtis's last stop, the morgue.
All right, Norman, let's run through it again. I want to know why they would give him Pemelin if he said he had a heart condition. I want to know what the cause of death was. And I want to know why you said he had a history of drugs when the guy never even took an aspirin.
I had nothing to do with it, Mike.
Norman, you're the coroner. That's your signature.
That's not my signature.
Well, then whose is it?
Heartland is an enormous hospital. One of their doctors wrote the report.
Is that copacetic?
Well, it's on the fence. It's called locum tenens. It's legalese, meaning they have the right to sign my name.
Who's your tennis partner?
So what do you want me to say, Mike? I got 4 kids. I need a paycheck like everybody else.
Norman, unless you tell me who it is, you're going to need it to pay a lawyer.
This didn't come from me. Go see Dr. Gardner at Heartland Hospital.
Well, there it is. You see how easy that was? Thank you, Norman.
You're welcome.
I think this one moved.
Doctors have bad handwriting, but forgery is always clear.
Take a deep breath. Forcing air into the patient. Can I have a volunteer?
Right here.
You'll do.
Looks like you've already got a dummy.
Yeah, but it's better with a real man.
Well, don't blow too hard, sweetheart. You might pop your date. You know where I can find Dr. Gardner?
He's in the lab.
Thanks.
So volunteers?
Put another quarter in, she'll take her top off.
Who are you?
And my camera, private investigator.
This is a restricted area.
Don't worry, I won't let anybody else in.
Hey, guys, take 5, huh? What are you doing here?
You wrote the autopsy report on Professor Ford Curtis, didn't you?
Who?
Come on, doctor, don't play dumb with me. How many patients have you had with terminal body odor?
That case is under investigation at the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta. It's out of our hands.
You haven't answered my question. All right, let me try this another way. Why did you pull the death certificate from the coroner's office without ever listing the cause of death?
Mr. Hammer, have you ever heard of Legionnaire's disease? Ever heard of AIDS? I didn't want to start a panic. I mean, we just don't know what we have on our hands here.
I'll tell you what you've got on your hands. You've got 4 dead bodies. You don't even know what killed them. Did you know that Ford Curtis had a heart condition?
Of course we knew that.
Then why did you give him Pemelin?
The man's heart stopped. Dr. Considine was trying to resuscitate him.
Considine was your partner, wasn't he?
My relationship with Dr. Considine has no bearing on this case.
Your partner's dead. He died in the same room. You trying to tell me that has no bearing?
Mr. Hammer, you're out of your league. This is a medical issue. Now, I suggest you leave before I call security. Things could get ugly.
Uglier than murder?
Dr. Gardner's story didn't smell right. Maybe he could use a checkup.
Sincerely, my camera. Can you read that back to me, Peter?
Board of Inquiry, American Medical Association, blah, blah, blah. As per our phone conversation, I'm formally requesting any information you may have on Dr. Zachary Gardner of the Heartland Hospital Corporation.
Hey, Mike, I just got off the phone with CDC in Atlanta. They have no idea what Gardner's talking about. In fact, they welcome your help.
Well, I hope he's a better doctor than he is a liar. Thanks, Nick.
Door was open.
Whatever you're selling, we're not buying.
I'm Janice Rhodes, Heartland Hospital Corporation. Can I have a minute?
Sure.
I'll have coffee, black, no sugar.
Starbucks, right around the corner. You can't miss it.
Then it won't take you long to get it.
Don't tell me you're in charge of community relations. What do you want?
Mr. Hammer, we're a very large corporation. We've got billions in assets.
Congratulations. How much of it do you get to keep?
And we like to avoid scandals. We seek to avoid bad publicity. And we want to put an end to this media circus.
Well, I won't tell anyone. Why are you coming to me?
Because Heartland Hospital is one of the premier medical institutions in this country.
I don't work for Heartland Hospital.
But you could. That's why I'm here.
What's this?
It's cold, hard cash. And I think you'll find it more than adequate.
What's your real job, Miss Rhodes? Vice President in charge of cover-ups?
Let's be pragmatic here.
Let's find out who killed Ford Curtis.
Killed. You think he was murdered?
Something doesn't smell right here.
Look, we both want to get to the bottom of this. I want to avoid the public hysteria. We need to conduct this investigation as quietly as possible. You can understand that, can't you?
I understand perfectly. Who sent you here?
That's not important.
Neither is this, sweetheart. Find yourself a new tune. This one's off key.
Fine. Have it your way. But for the record, we tried to be cooperative.
For the record, there's the door.
Took you long enough.
What happened to Miss Manners?
She was late for an appointment at charm school.
Listen, find out if you can who runs Heartland Hospital.
Okay, Mike.
And, oh, don't waste the coffee. I'll take it.
Let me get you a fresh one. I spit in the mug.
Because it's dull. I'm going to bring in a ghostwriter to punch this up.
No, Craig. Look, Dad was proud of it. I want it published as written.
I'll sell 9 copies and I'll lose my shirt. Carl Sagan is dead, Haley. The door is wide open for the next space guru, but this is a 600-page sleeping pill.
Well, I completely disagree.
I'm not going to screw up my career publishing this crap. What?
Mike Hammer?
I'll buzz you in. What's Hammer doing here?
He asked to see me.
How much you paying this guy?
It's my money, Craig.
It's our money. In case you've forgotten, take a look at that ring on your finger.
Come in, Mike.
Thanks.
Make it quick.
The impatient fiancé. Want somebody leave a window open?
Oh, no, it's my father's book. I dropped it.
Can we help you, Mr. Hammer?
I'd like to talk to Haley privately, if you don't mind.
Oh, anything you say to her, you can say to me.
What did you find out?
Not much. A lot of questions. Do you know anybody who would want to see your father dead?
No. My father was one of the nicest men who ever lived. I mean, I don't mean to sound cliche, but I don't think he had an enemy in the world.
Well, I think he may have had at least one.
Are you suggesting Professor Curtis was murdered?
I think it may be a very strong possibility, yes.
Why? And who?
If anybody killed the old man, they certainly picked a strange way to do it.
And why they would want to do it is even stranger.
I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that anybody would want to kill my father.
Well, we can certainly check that out tomorrow at the hospital.
Fine. We'll be there.
I'm sorry you're not invited.
Why?
Because I don't like you. See you tomorrow. I left Haley's for the office looking for a bogeyman. Instead, I landed in a trap. A sand trap.
Drop the piece nice and slow.
Do you have an appointment?
Drop it.
How much do you pay for that aftershave? 2 cents a quart?
Move it.
The thug who jumped me was out of bounds. But who was he?
He had no fingerprints.
No dental records?
Mike, the guy landed face first on the sidewalk. We're still sweeping up his teeth from the Battery to Central Park.
And nobody knows who this guy was? No informants? Nothing?
We got squat, Mike. Just be happy you're still alive.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic.
Look, if you ask me, the creep was a local thug who made a very big mistake of robbing the wrong office.
Yeah, sure. He wanted to steal my fish for the local sushi bar. I'm telling you, Skip, this guy wanted to whack me. If this guy was a local thug, he would have had his tips removed by acid. This guy was a pro. Even the report says he had his fingerprints removed surgically. What do you know about a guy named Newton Neal?
Love his cookies. I never met a guy named Newton in my life. Who the hell is he?
He runs Heartland Hospital. He sent one of his flunkies yesterday and tried to buy me off.
You got a witness?
No.
Did you tape it?
No.
Mike, you try to make a connection between the goon we scraped off the pavement and the mess at the hospital? That is a stretch, Mike.
I know it's a stretch, but it's all I got.
drop it. And this time not off a balcony, please.
There you are.
Sorry I'm late. You sure you're gonna be okay with this?
Yeah, I can handle it.
I couldn't help but think Haley Curtis was a brave girl to walk the corridors where her father died. Took a lot of guts to return to the scene of the crime. But was it a crime? Or was it a simple case of incompetence protected by law? Doctors and lawyers. Now there's a daily double of trouble. By the way, I never asked, why was your father in here?
It's so cold.
Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry. He had some polyps on his intestines.
Haley, do you know if your father had any financial ties to Heartland? Stocks, bonds, anything like that?
Well, my father was a successful man. I know he owned stock, but I'll check with his accountant.
Miss Curtis, I'm very sorry about your father.
Thank you.
I'm Newton Neal, Director of Operations.
Did you direct the operation that killed him?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know who you are.
I'm Mike Hammer.
He's a private investigator.
It isn't really necessary, Miss Curtis.
Miss Curtis disagrees.
So you're suing?
I haven't made any decisions yet.
I'm sure you'll appreciate our position.
Mr. Neal, my father is dead. I am not in a very appreciative mood.
Heartland is a vital lifeline in this city. I have both patients and the public to consider.
I've heard the press release. Is that why you sent Miss Rhodes to buy off my mortgage?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Come on, Newt. Cut the BS. We know you're trying to bribe your way out of this.
Excuse me, gentlemen. What about my father?
Do you have any idea the harm that could result if we don't come up with a cogent explanation for your father's death?
Yeah. Have you run any tests? You don't even know what kind of gas it was.
Mr. Hammer, we're trying to do something based on science, not science fiction. There were virtually no traces of the gas to do a chemical analysis from, but we're working on it, believe me.
What about Dr. Gardner? Is he also working on it?
If you found him less than cooperative, you can blame me. He was following my instructions.
Okay, Newt. If you were to hazard a guess, what would you say killed Haley's dad and the rest of the OR team?
I'm not in the guessing game, Mr. Hammer. I have to be absolutely sure before I start pointing fingers. If we come up with anything, we'll call you, but don't hold your breath.
If the 4 people that died had held theirs, they might still be alive. Well, let's go. Newton Neal had a secret he wasn't sharing. That night, I went back to Haley's pad and discovered she had a secret of her own. Very interesting. Silent Secrets of the Cosmos by Haley Curtis.
It was Craig's idea.
Craig gets lots of ideas.
Look, Mike, Craig is very good at what he does. And he just feels that the book will sell better with my picture on the desk cover.
Uh-huh. And you do everything this guy tells you to, huh? What kind of a doormat are you?
Mike. Look, not now, okay? I am not gonna deal with this
Well,
now.
you better deal with this, sweetheart. Your fiancé hated your father. Craig couldn't have been happy when he found out your father was dead.
That is not true. Look, you just don't understand him.
Yeah, I understand him perfectly. Prisons are full of guys just like him who love to beat their wives.
Craig never laid a hand on me.
Oh, that's not his style. He doesn't have to beat you physically. He beats you up with words. Now tell me something. How did your father feel about Craig?
Professor Curtis despised me.
Well, at least he had some taste.
I told you this guy would be nothing but trouble.
You looking for trouble, pal? You came to the right place.
I didn't kill Ford Curtis, so cross me off your list.
Oh, really? You get the girl, you get Curtis's money, you even get the book.
And you get out. You're fired.
Did I miss something here? When did I start working for you, pal?
You'll be paid in full, Mike. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for you. Haley's fiance, Craig, was a schoolyard bully with an expense account. Now he was a prime suspect.
So I'm having dinner last night with this guy? I'm talking JFK Jr. clone. The only trouble is he chews with his mouth open.
So from now on, he can talk restaurants. You got anything?
I'm working on it, Mike.
Hey,
What'd you find out?
not bad. I got the phone numbers of 3 nurses.
At least you won't be lonely this weekend.
Should have a lot of fun playing doctor.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to turn my head and cough. Okay, Renee is in pediatrics, and the other 2 are in the OR.
Good, good. See what kind of dirt we can dig up on Haley's fiance, Craig.
Okay.
I got it, Mike.
What?
The Heartland Hospital Personnel Directory?
Great, print it. I want to talk to anyone who was working on the floor that night.
I'm wearing my shoes thin, tracking down nurses, and you're pulling stuff off a computer?
Work smarter, not harder.
Just work. Work! Nick found our nurse. Her name was Lucy Caitlin, and she'd been working at Heartland for 5 years. I'll take legwork over luck any day. And these legs were ready to talk.
You don't mind if I record this, do you?
No, it's fine. I give 1,000 injections a week. I know every type of syringe in our inventory. But this one was new.
How so?
It was tiny, and it had this dark green residue in it. It was greasy like gasoline.
And you found it under his bed?
Yeah. When Mr. Curtis died, I was told to go in and pack up his belongings. I reached under this bed to get his slippers, and that's when I found the needle.
What'd you do with it?
I gave it to Dr. Gardner.
Gardner?
Yeah, he was in charge.
What did Gardner do with it?
I don't know. Put it in a plastic bag, and that was the last I ever saw of it. Something doesn't add up, though, because I oversaw all Professor Curtis's medicines, and that was not part of his pre-op.
Hey, Nick, beer?
No, thanks. I'm working.
Need an assistant?
So why are you telling me this?
I don't like doctors. They're arrogant, and they treat their nurses like crap.
But how do you really feel?
Well, I've never been good at hiding my feelings.
Any doctors in particular?
Yeah, Dr. Gardner, for starters. Did you know that he prepared the anesthesia?
Wait a second, I thought Gardner was a cardiologist.
Yeah, well, this whole case stinks, and I might as well tell you the whole story, Nick. I've got another reason for talking to you. That nurse that died, Julie, she was a good friend. And Gardner's covering something up, and I don't want to see him get away with it.
How do you know he's covering something up?
I just know.
Is there anyone else you think I should talk to?
Maybe his roommate.
There was someone in the room with him?
Yeah, Mr. Baxter.
Really? You hungry?
I'm watching my figure.
I thought that was my job.
Lucy's tale sent me back to Heartland for a bedside chat with Cleve Baxter, Professor Curtis's old roomie.
Not another goddamn pill. No pills. On my camera. You're not a doctor? No, I'm a private investigator. I'm working for Haley, Ford Curtis's daughter.
That was a shame about Curtis. He was a nice guy. He was a little nuts about planets and stars.
Did he talk about anything else?
Not really. The scuttlebutt was that he was murdered. You gotta smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Later.
No. You got a light?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is this all right?
Well, just smoke. So what can I do for you?
You okay?
I'm fine.
What was it you said about murder?
I've been in these hospitals for over 30 years. Good hospitals, VA hospitals, butcher shops. It could just be talk.
Are you a veteran?
Korea, class of 52.
Ah, Vietnam, class of 68.
Marine?
Yeah.
Semper Fi, man.
Hey. Oh, thanks.
Marched on a frozen chosen right into Pyongyang. Oh, God.
The morning that Ford Curtis went into surgery and died, did you happen to see anything unusual?
Huh? What?
The nurse tells me that she found a syringe under his bed.
A syringe? Huh. You know, I think I did see somebody. It might have been a nurse or a candy striper. Might have had a syringe. I don't know. They were sticking Curtis every 10 minutes, but who was the nurse?
Her name was Lucy Caitlin.
Lucy with the gray legs. Oh, God, if I was 30 years younger. What the hell? She had the hots for that doctor.
What doctor?
The dead one, you know, Considine.
I heard she hated doctors.
I've seen them together. I mean, you spend 8 to 10 months out of the year in this place. You see everything. Could you leave me another cigarette?
Keep the pack.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care of yourself, Bax.
Lucy.
Lucy's story didn't square with Baxter's, the old soldier who was fading away. Soldiers. Maybe, just maybe, I was missing something. A Defense Department angle. I asked Nurse Caitlin to drop by the office. I was ready for anything. All my alarm bells were sounding. And so were my neighbors, Maya's.
Mike, open up. Open up.
Maya.
Come on, stop shaving. Don't you hear this noise?
What?
The noise elevator is not working. Beep, 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 beep. Drive me crazy. Come on, Mike, you know.
How long has it been like this?
Oh, stop being such a detective. Be a man for the change. Just fix it.
Okay, Maya, just take it easy. I'm on it.
I believe it when I see it. What do you think, I'm a barber?
All right. Well, it's stuck.
Unstuck it.
All right, push the button.
Oh, it's working. Oh, my God. She looks awful.
Yeah, awful dead. Nurse Lucy Caitlin needed more than a doctor. Once again, I found myself in the morgue. So, Skip, are you with me now?
Yeah, Mike, I'm with you. Something stinks around here.
You ought to drop by in August.
Obviously, somebody didn't appreciate this poor girl talking to you.
Obviously.
You guys done? I got a sticker back in the cooler.
Well, I'm just hanging around this joint. Why don't you go home and watch the game? Unless you want to spend the night here.
At least the air conditioning works. Who's playing?
Falcons and the Bills. Chris Berman says the Bills are a lock.
I'll take the Falcons. Who do you like?
Me? What the hell do I know? I couldn't win if I was playing alone.
The new day broke sunny and clear. Something else was clear. This wasn't incompetence. It was murder. Haley.
Mike, what happened?
The police are going to call you soon. And when they do, I want you to tell them everything you told me.
Well, it's about time. What turned him around?
There's no question about it. We know now that your father was murdered.
I can't believe it.
Haley, I can't prove this yet, and I'm not sure why or how, but I don't think your father was the target.
I don't understand. If my father wasn't the target, Then what was he?
He was the murder weapon.
What?
I think somebody injected your father with the chemical that killed Dr. Considine and everybody else in that room. But I gotta prove it. Plastics, real estate, theme parks, what? Shipping? This Heartland Corporation's a monster.
Hey, Mike, we're in luck. I finally got a hold of Jerry. He can do it.
Oh, good.
Do what?
Nick's got a buddy who's a computer hacker.
He can access Defense Department files. He's on his way over right now.
That's illegal.
Let's just say Jerry's an entrepreneur. People want information. Jerry can get it.
Yeah, how much is he gonna cost?
He wants $1,500.
50? Hey, my name is Hammer, not Trump.
Listen, I know it's a lot of money, Mike, but you gotta trust me. Jerry is the best. He's been doing it for 3 years, and he's only been arrested twice.
For what? Bank robbery? Listen, didn't you used to go out with a stockbroker? What was his name?
Ryan Mann. Oh, Mike, you know, 2 kids, ex-wife, mother issues. I still have a headache.
Well, take a couple of aspirin. I need a breakdown on Heartland Corporation subsidiaries.
Anything in particular you want?
Defense contractors. Anybody who's in the business of poison gas.
Mike Hammer, Private Investigations. Okay, it's Skip.
Yeah. You're kidding. On my way.
What?
Speaking of gas, Heartland Hospital just had an explosion. I was thinking I should give Velda a raise. She made the call to an ex she'd nearly forgotten and preferred to keep forgetting. His name was Ryan Mann, a stockbroker with bigger problems than the bear market.
I'm sorry I'm late,
Some things never change.
including your criticism.
I'm sorry. How are you?
Good. Everything's good.
You look terrific.
I know. How's your mother?
Depressed. Her cat's missing, and she hasn't been sleeping well.
That's too bad. I always liked your mother's cat.
And you invite me to lunch just to take a shot at me?
I told you what I wanted. Did you find out anything?
The Heartland Corporation. Blue chip, diversified, great investment. Don't tell me you've managed to drag yourself out of Bloomingdale's long enough to save some money.
Forget about the Heartland Corporation. What'd you find out about the subsidiaries?
What they have is a small research facility that operates as a separate corporation. But there's something really strange going on here. Up until about a year ago, these guys were making money hand over fist. 400% returns. Now, flat as a pancake.
What kind of research facility?
It was all Defense Department money.
What kind of stuff were they working on?
I can't help you there, sorry.
Ryan Mann, it's your mother.
Hang on just a minute. Hi, Mom? Yeah? Snowball's dead.
While Velda suffered through lunch with Ryan, Nick was having his own problems with Jerry, his hacker buddy.
Where did Hammer get this computer? Garage sale?
Look, it's not that old.
We're talking Flintstones.
Listen, just quit your whining and give me something I can use, all right?
I'm working on it. With the DOD, you have to be very careful. They got checkpoints all through their system.
But you can get around that, right?
Sure. They don't stop anybody, they're just a pain in the ass. Okay. We're in. Can't go any further, right? Wrong. All right, keep your fingers crossed, Nick, because this is the part where they can really screw us.
Hey, wait a second. Go down here. That's Gardner.
Let's see what else Hammer's 1,500 buys him.
Newton Neal? So these guys are working together.
And somebody found out.
How do you know?
See these marks here? These indicate the date and time somebody logged on.
Do they know we're looking?
Maybe. They deactivated the system, but there could be a backup.
Can you print this out?
1,500 gets you in. Printing is extra.
Please tell me you're kidding.
It was worth the shot. Wait a second. I lost it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Either the whole system just crashed or Hammer didn't pay his electric bill.
Well, can you get it back?
No, nothing. Zilch. I don't know what you're after here, Nick, but somebody sure doesn't want you to get it.
The lab at Heartland went up in smoke, and with it, Newton's apple, Dr. Gardner.
What the hell happened here?
Oh, there's an explosion. Dr. Gardner got killed.
Need an evidence bag.
What the hell are you doing here?
I thought hospitals were supposed to save lives. You're stacking up bodies here like firewood.
Get out of here,
Hey, take your hands off me, pal.
Get it. Come on, let's go.
You want some more, pal?
Hey, what for Christ's sake, Mike? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Giving him a little CPR.
I want him arrested for trespassing and assault.
Mike, what are you doing? You're supposed to wait outside.
The evidence is inside. Skip, take a look around.
Are you going to arrest him, or do I have to call the police commissioner?
Don't threaten me. Cuff him.
Are you nuts, Skip?
No, but I'm beginning to think that you are.
Come on.
Come on, Mike, move it.
Yeah, sure.
What, I have to put a babysitter on you all the time?
Okay, thanks. That was Nick. Turns out there is a connection between Heartland Hospital and the Defense Department.
Oh, yeah. And I just saw Lee Harvey Oswald in the hallway.
What is it with you today, Skip? You ate a stale donut? What's the coroner's report have to say about Gardner's body?
It was well done. He was burnt, Mike. It's going to take a while. But I'm releasing you through a sweetheart deal I made with a judge. I'm giving you Betsy back, but I'm hanging on to your PI license until this whole issue is settled.
You call that a sweetheart deal? Must be an ugly sweetheart.
Hey, don't say ugly. I think you know her. And this time, justice truly is blind.
Now, Judge Warfield.
I think she expects dinner. She asked me if you were still single.
I'd rather go to jail.
Hey. Where you going?
I need a checkup. Professor Ford Curtis was dead, an innocent victim of an evil plan. His surgeon, Dr. Considine, died with him, and Considine's partner, Dr. Gardner, had joined him in the big clinic in the sky. The only name left on the list was Newton Neal, and it was time for Newt to get a dose of his own foul medicine.
Getting sick of this, Hammer.
Physician, heal thyself.
Mr. Hammer, may I say openly how much I dislike you?
You know, for a smart man, Newt, you made a lot of stupid mistakes. Cooked coroner's reports, sloppy bribes. You know, a rookie cop would have busted you in 5 minutes. But I'll say this, you did have one thing going for you. A covert weapons plan. An unknown toxic gas that took me a little time to sniff out.
The government will be sorry they pulled out of my project.
You mean they banned chemical weapons without asking you first? How dare they? I will say this, Newt. You were right about one thing. I was a little out of my league when it came to scientific research. But I gotta tell you, you're way out of yours when it comes to covering up murder. What started out as a simple case of malpractice and negligence quickly turned to homicide. Very original, Newt. Injecting Haley's dad with the stuff that killed Dr. Considine, the partner you could no longer control. I guess he didn't want to be part of the plan to sell lethal gas to terrorists. And then your other partner, Dr. Gardner, started getting very nervous. Or was he getting a little too greedy? Either way, you had to let him go. And when Lucy Caitlin discovered what was going on, he did the one thing that doctors never do anymore. He made a house call.
Very smart. How much do you want?
50 years to life.
Doctor's orders, Mr. Hammer. You're a dead man.
Thanks, pal. I owe you one. I saw the light. I had one more patient to treat.
Doctor, quick! Mr. Reiser's gone to cardiac arrest. He has no pulse and his blood pressure's in the basement.
Hit him a few more times and call me in the morning. How are we feeling, Mr. Baxter?
Not so good, Doc. I don't understand it. I was always so lucky.
Like at Chosin?
Hammer?
You weren't at Chosin, Baxter. Every good Marine knows they march to the sea, not Punyang. Pyongyang is in the middle of Korea.
My mind, it's a little foggy.
You better save your breath. You're gonna need it. Remember this? Newton Neal put you in here with some phony illness. Gave you carte blanche to roam and ravage. You're the guy that killed Ford Curtis. You're a disgrace to the uniform. You're not a Marine, Baxter. You're an assassin.
The bastard Neil is killing me. Get me a doctor.
You don't need a doctor. No, you just need a good night's sleep. It must be tough with this thing on your face.
What do you do?
I'm just gonna step out for some fresh air. Now, sweet dreams, Bax.
I must have called every glass shop in the city. This is the best I could do.
$400?
It's a big window.
Well, why don't we just paint it? It doesn't look that bad.
Can I come in?
You alone?
Yeah. I gave Craig his ring back.
I would have sold it.
Yeah, good for you. So what are you gonna do now?
Well, find a new publisher, and then maybe get a teaching job somewhere. I don't know. But whatever I do, it'll be on my own terms.
Well, I'm real proud of you, kid. Can I buy you some lunch somewhere?
Yeah, I'm starving. Where do you want to go?
Any place we won't get bad gas.